However, I think that this year we're going to see an upset at the Arnold Classic. Coach Jason Capson here. Coach Jason Capson here, and today I want to talk about the 2024 Arnold Classic. I'm going to make a pretty bold prediction here, and I'm sure it will raise some controversy, like it seems all of my bodybuilding videos do, but that's okay. This is just my opinion. This is based on what I see and based on my personal preference. The great thing about bodybuilding is that it's very subjective. Again, you may like someone better than I do as far as a body goes. There are a ton of fans of every different type of body in bodybuilding. There's, people love the mass monsters, people like the more symmetrical, people like the bigger guys, the smaller guys in between. This is just my personal opinion on, what I believe bodybuilding truly should be. And it's based on many, many, many years of experience. So I think, first of all, that Hadi is an incredible bodybuilder. I think that he is, obviously he's a former Mr. Olympia. So he won the Mr. Olympia. Last year, he lost the Mr. Olympia, as everybody knows, to Derek. There was a ton of controversy from Hadi fans, and I get it. Hadi fans are Hadi fans, and they are absolutely in love with their champion, and rightfully so. He is incredible in many, many, many ways. However, I think that this year we're going to see an upset at the Arnold Classic. Now, this is the first time that Hadi has ever competed in the Arnold Classic. So I think we're going, the expectations are from a lot of people that Hadi is going to go in there and he's going to clean up. And he might. Again, it depends on, what the judges are actually looking for. But this is what I think. This is my personal opinion. I think Samson is going to win. I think he's going to shock the world. I think Samson is going to come in with his best physique ever. Peak week can change a lot of things. I've seen a lot of bodybuilders crash during peak week and come on stage at the actual show, holding, there's all kinds of things that can happen during peak week. So there's a lot of time left, but going into this show, I've got some recent pictures and I want to do some comparisons just to sort of emphasize, where I stand with regards to these two bodybuilders, because I do believe it's going to come down to Hadi and Samson. I think it's going to be those two at the end, and one of them is going to be crowned the 2024 Arnold Classic champion. And I think it's going to be Samson. And here, let's break it down. Here are the comparisons. So let's jump right in. First of all, we're going to look at this front double bicep shot. Now remember, these are probably 4 weeks out, roughly-ish. It's hard to say because, again, some people are saying that these images were released a little while ago, that these aren't as current as we think. In some cases, I know Hadi just posted these literally days ago, if not a day ago, kind of a thing. So these are pretty new for Hadi, and these are fairly new for Samson as well. Again, I try to do a fair comparison here so we can just get a good idea kind of going in. So let's break it down by body part. Let's look at the arms first. So we're looking at the arms. Both Samson and Hadi, both of them have incredible arms. I think that Hadi definitely has the advantage when it comes to biceps. I think his biceps, his arms are definitely a little bit better than Samson's in these shots. I think that Hadi has some of the best arms on the planet. I think there's no one's going to argue that Hadi definitely wins the arms department. Now let's look at shoulders. Shoulders. Again, shoulder to waist ratio. Let's just talk about that for a quick second. I do have symmetry as one of my criteria, but let's talk about shoulders. And again, Hadi is cursed with size. Now I say that you can't put more muscle on a human body than what Hadi has. So because of that, he looks very compact. He looks very, his shoulder to waist ratio isn't the most pleasing, and I've noticed some extension of his gut as of late, which Samson never ever has. There's no issues with that, on the Samson side, but we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. But shoulders, just based on the front lat spread, just based on the front double bicep pose, just based on the rear bicep pose, back double bicep pose. When you look at the shoulders, you look at his rear delt, you look at the most muscular poses. I think the edge goes to Samson in the shoulder department. That's just my opinion. It's close. Chest, again, we didn't get chest shots directly from Hadi. There is a really good one of Samson here. We have Hadi doing his classic, side, looking at his serratus in his oblique pose. So it's hard to say. Samson definitely has a bigger chest. Samson definitely has a larger chest, more developed chest. So I'm going to give the edge to Samson in the chest department. Now back. Here's where it gets interesting, because back has never been either of these two champions. It's never been their strong suit. Obviously, Derek takes the prize when it comes to back in men's open bodybuilding. No one's coming close to that. No one's touching that. But when you compare these two backs, back for back, again, I think Samson brings more detail right now. Now, the day of the show, that might change, because Hadi is definitely known for his conditioning from head to toe, but where he does hold a little bit of water is in his back. People talk about this a lot. He doesn't hold water anywhere in his body except for his back. So there's a little bit of water in his back. I think in this case, I have to give the edge again to Samson. If Samson brings his best package to the Arnold stage, which it looks like he's going to, it's going to be hard when you compare the backs, even if it's even. I think you got to give the conditioning side to Samson. I think Samson has a lot of detail in his back. I think he's brought his back up significantly. I think Hadi still has a little bit of work to do on his back. Now, abs. Again, Hadi is known for his conditioning. I think Samson has incredibly symmetrical, pleasing to the eye abs. I think his waist is much tighter. I think it's much more pleasing to the eye. But Hadi's conditioning when it comes to abs is second to none. It's world class. It's probably the best on the planet. So Hadi wins in the ab department. Legs. Now, Hadi always brings conditioning with regards to legs. His legs are always vascular. They're always tight. They're always sharp. But I will say this about Samson's legs this year. I've never seen his legs look this good, this far out from a show, with the cross striations, with the deep separation. I think his legs look better now than they've ever looked. They're bigger and even more conditioned, not only from the front, but even from the back in the hamstring pose. And let's just talk calves. Samson has some of the best calves in all of bodybuilding. His calves are ridiculously, incredibly huge, symmetrical, and shaped. He's got incredible calves. So again, if we're talking about legs, overall legs, again, got to give it to Samson. So we're going to go with Samson when it comes to legs and calves. Conditioning, again, based on the past, based on what we've seen in past shows, Hadi always brings the conditioning. That is his trademark, is his conditioning. So the edge does go to Hadi when it comes to conditioning based on the past. Now, do I think that Samson's going to bring his best condition ever? I do. I hope he does bring it, because he's going to need that conditioning to beat Hadi. Now, here's the thing. Do you think, write a comment in below. Do you think that conditioning should be the number one criteria overall? In my opinion, I think conditioning matters for sure. But I think conditioning matters as much as symmetry. No, that's not true. I think symmetry matters more. I think a balanced physique, I think a balanced symmetrical physique truly is the essence of real bodybuilding. When you think about what bodybuilders from the beginning of time were looking, you want to look like a Greek statue. Symmetry was the trademark for bodybuilding. It wasn't just size over size. Now, does Hadi bring more size than Samson? Yeah, Samson's huge, by the way. He's huge, but he just carries it in a balanced, symmetrical way. From a pleasing to the eye standpoint, much like Chris Bumstead, Samson has that symmetry. He has that it factor. In my opinion, I think Samson has the best body in open bodybuilding in the world today when it comes to size, when it comes to conditioning, when it comes to symmetry, when it comes from everything head to toe, shoulder to waist ratio, the taper. Again, Hadi is a monster, a mass monster for sure, but he's just there's too much mass almost on that body. You cannot fit that much muscle on a body without sacrificing symmetry. So I think in putting on that much size, he has sacrificed symmetry. He comes in conditioned, but his symmetry is just off. It's not as pleasing to the eye, in my opinion. Samson has the most pleasing physique on the Olympia stage and on the Arnold stage. He will be the best physique on that stage, and I think he will win the 2024 Arnold Classic. Leave me your opinions down below. I could be wrong. I'm probably going to get some pushback from the Hadi fans, but I do think that Hadi has definitely... He won the Olympia. I don't know that he'll ever be able to win the Olympia again, especially with Derek now reigning supreme and Samson just improving every single time out. I think Samson's going to win the Arnold Classic again, and I think he's going to push Derek for the Mr. Olympia this year in 2024. I think Hadi, I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I think Hadi has won his last title at the Olympia. He may win the Arnold. Again, I hope they judge it so that symmetry matters more than pure size and mass. Let's be honest, Samson has as much mass as Hadi. Hadi just has it in a more compact size. He's shorter. He's a lot shorter than Samson. So it's going to be interesting. I'm really looking forward to it. Put your comments below. Let me know who you think is going to win the 2024 Arnold Classic. Is it going to be Hadi? Is it going to be Samson? Is it going to be someone else? Is there a dark horse that might come through and shock the world? I don't think so, but we shall see. So let me know what you think. This is Coach Jason Capson. Take care, guys.